I got to tell you about my nephew CJ. He is a 6'2" mountain of a young man. He's a professional football player, and he's the epitome of this thing that we call meekness. Doesn't mean that he's weak, doesn't mean that he avoids difficulty, it doesn't mean that he's nice, and it most certainly doesn't mean that he's weak in personality or character. The word meek speaks of and refers to something like the strength of a horse that becomes conditioned and controlled by the bit that's placed in his mouth. Think of a war horse or a plow horse or my nephew CJ. It's disciplined strength. I believe that men possess a unique kind of strength, but that strength is too often undisciplined, lacking in constructive purpose, and becomes abusive. But meekness is the kind of strength that provides that shoulder that's ready to lean into difficulty and struggle, especially on behalf of the vulnerable. Meek men give away their strength, they don't wield power. Meek men show deference to the vulnerable, especially women. Meek men serve before they speak. Meek men care very little for the results of so-called real men who use their power to perpetuate violence, inequality, and injustice. So what is meekness? One way to look at it is simply being a strong shoulder that can lean into hard things like sex trafficking, but it can also be leaned upon. Being meek doesn't mean being weak. It's about having strength under control and channeling our power for good. Meekness is the ability to stay calm in challenging situations, to respond with kindness instead of aggression. It's like a superpower that can allow us to resolve conflicts peacefully and build harmonious relationships.